All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Welcome to the Stop and Listen podcast. Somewhat of a special occasion. I'm at 100 videos, not episodes. Generally I do episodes, but I was doing some. I was like doing like little like segments, or shorts of it or whatever. But I haven't done that in a while. So, and I was like keeping at the beginning. If you scroll down, you'll see like I was like numbering the episodes. No, it doesn't matter. Like it just, I know people do that. I was just from my end, it makes no difference really. Like, and you're not gonna watch something because it says a certain number on it. Like episode 350. Oh, I love episodes 350s. Oh, well, that might be interesting, you know? Like, so that's where I'm coming at. Anyway, I've been talking about this far enough movement, kind of this thing I kind of want to get behind, you know? Because I found a lot of things on these radical left-wing people running for president. They're actually debating right now. I will watch this and do a video on it for sure. But RFK Jr. is not on stage. I don't know why. I would like to know that reason. But I'm going to watch this. But anyway, so these people are out there. Like Jill Stein is outright full-on communist, and Cornel West is just a less educated version of that, based on their website. But there were several things that I agreed with all the candidates about. And it's like, so I am about as conservative as one could get. I want the least amount of government that we can get. That's what being conservative is. The very, very least amount we can have. But these radical communists running for president here, the fact that there were many things that I agreed with them on, well, as a nation, why can't we get those things done, get them out of the way, and then we can kind of have our debates about the stuff that we're probably never going to agree upon anyway. But it's far enough, right? Here's my thought. Like, it's not far left, it's not far right. We've been pushed far enough. Let's get something done. You know, like I think we got to go. And I've been talking about it in past episodes, like dropping it here and there. And now I kind of want to go over it. I was going to go over some tweets of the week. So I think what I'm going to do is rattle on here for a while. And I will probably turn this segment into multiple episodes. So I'm going to go over like, you know, tweets of the day, what have you. And then I'm going to get into the movement. Okay, I have not watched this.
Agenda 47 is a Cliff Notes version.
I have not watched this. Caught my eye. Let's watch it together.
I was told on my live this morning that I need to go read Agenda 47 because I stated that Trump does not endorse Project 2025, but Agenda 47 is a Cliff Notes version. So I went and I read it. First up, ending homelessness in veterans, which will be taking the funding away from the housing for the immigrants that are coming in illegally over our border and putting that funding into housing for our homeless veterans. Also giving funding to the VA. Ending the war in Ukraine on day one. Newsflash, Putin, about a week ago, said that he would be okay with this. It talks about lessening low-income housing and using that money to help Americans who want to purchase homes.
Okay.
I love your mind. That's the thing I love.
Trump. See, this is the most pivotal time in our country's history right now. I hope y'all realize that. If things were all equal, done fair and square, completely on the up and up, Donald Trump would win this election in a complete landslide. Even considering the way the media talks about him, he would win a landslide. What's happening now with the president, Biden does need to fight. And we will see how much power Obama has because Gavin Newsom's not just going to roll over, but if it's Michelle, Gavin will be the vice president. And Gretchen Whitmer, she's not going to go down quietly. I've not heard of any senators or congressmen kind of thrown around there. I have heard Steve Bannon said Warnock, the newly elected senator in Georgia, as VP, possibly. That seemed odd, but well, I guess it would make sense, for Gretchen Whitmer to help. Like if she did it. She would cover the white woman part, and then he could be the black man part. And Georgia, if he could help win Georgia, secure Georgia for sure, then that actually would be strategically smart, I suppose. But anyway, because if it's not Michelle, Congress and the Senate probably gets a pretty good bump on the Republican side, which is like a dream come true. But there's zero reason to believe that they're actually going to take the opportunity, seize the day, and actually make change. They're not going to do it. I think if you want to be politically motivated, we have to get involved in some way, shape, or form. Join groups. We have to organize. Join church groups. That's still organizing in a way, and you don't those could build in friendships that could lead to other conversations. We have to organize, people. The other side does very effectively. That's why rules for radicals. I haven't talked about it in a while here. Here it is. This is what the left wing of this country, this is their playbook. Literally, they're running. You could read it. It's they do that, and they do that. It's right here. It's right here. So if you want to combat that at all, you got to be familiar with this. We have to organize, people. We got to get together. We're so the internet connected us in a way that we detached from our communities. Our neighbors. It's horrible. It's horrible. There we go. According to ABC, a new study has found that 40% of all cancer cases among adults and nearly half of deaths could be prevented by making lifestyle changes. Like eating healthy and exercise but lifestyle, that also means job careers, as well. And even the not necessarily the job is giving you cancer, but I mean, I don't know, do we know that prescription medication, prolonged use of it, doesn't give people cancer? Do we know that? I don't know. Just a random thought. Who knows? Probably not. But hey, your health is important to you. Isn't that wild? Oh, this is hilarious. This has not been covered anywhere from what I've seen. No one has picked up on this. This was actually posted on Twitter. Happy Best Friends Day to my friend Barack Obama, who's busy stabbing him in the back. Like a friendship bracelet. This is Joe and Barack. People, I've not heard this talked about. Joe Biden posted Best Friends Day to my friend Barack Obama. While Barack Obama is actively trying to steal the presidency from him. I mean, whether it should be stolen or not, I mean, you make the case. But oh, look, David Axelrod said this is a joke, right? no one saw this with me and David Axelrod, apparently. Holy shit. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Sorry. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. So I'm from the state of Missouri, and I believe my congressman is Ann Wagner, and she was tweeting about her when she was in NATO. The only time her name pops up ever is when she's going to the World Economic Forum or NATO. She's a she's in the clique. I tweeted at Andrew Bailey that he ought to look into this broad. I mean, like, for real, I don't care if she's a Republican or not. I'm in the middle of suburbia. There is no reason in the world our congressman needs to be at the World Economic Forum or NATO or nothing like that. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. I want answers. All right. I'm going to finish up with this, whatever this is. I don't know what this is, folks. Let's watch it together.
Already know who we voting for.
This is going to be stupid, I think.
Trump 2024. Y'all already know who we voting for. Vote for my uncle. Period. Trump 2024. Trump say the USA. MAGA.
I don't approve of that. I don't know what that is. I don't approve any part of that. Alex Rosen posted that. This is goofy AF. That's concerning to me. On a visceral level, whatever set that in emotion, I would be weary of. Okay. Far enough. Chase Oliver. Now, God love him. If you read over his platform, I can confirm that whoever wrote that is very gay. It'd be like, it's just, I can tell. It's just, I can. It's no real judgment. I mean, I don't care. Like, I've never read gay before. This actually read gay. Kennedy. I donated money to Kennedy just to kind of help him get on the ballot, I think, is why I did it. And now they call and text quite a bit. And that, his VP, I guess that lady, has endless amounts of money. So, no, I'm not donating to you. You're a Kennedy, and you have you just allowed your VP to purchase the position, seemingly, because there's so much I like about Bobby Kennedy. I hope he's involved in the Trump administration. I received something to okay, so several establishment, I think Karl Rove and his said that Burgum should be the VP, which means Burgum shouldn't be the VP. And then you're kind of down to like Marco Rubio or J.D. Vance, and the Rubio thing is like, well, that's kind of making the deal with the establishment if you pick Rubio. But his pick is still, I still think his pick is going to be Tulsi. I mean, it's always been the smart move, and I kind of assumed he wouldn't do the smart thing, but If we get closer, the next few days, we're going to find out. I think he's picking Tulsi. I really do. You know, there's been a lot of talk. I've seen. I mean, it's Trump encouraged the GOP to Republicans to take off abortion off the party platform. It's not because I think his position is now it's a state issue. It doesn't need to be on the party platform. But I mean, it's not sitting well with a lot of people. And I mean, I understand why. And that's probably maybe why we're going to fracture into I mean, we need a third party candidate to bust this up. If a third party candidate can bust this up with a actually good showing, then this could undo a lot of this. I mean, we're talking. There's a fair chance 2 out of the last 3 elections that the Democratic Party chose their candidate and didn't let it be picked by the people. I mean, seriously. But anyway, we got all these radicals. And do I agree with them on anything? First off, criminal justice reform. That's the first thing I talked about. Abolishing the death penalty. Now, these far left radicals, they don't want to do it for the same reason I do. I want to do it so they have as much time as possible to find salvation. And I think they should, on a federal level, not a state-by-state issue, at least severely restrict solitary confinement because, I mean, it does seem like as if it's abused. I mean, the worst of the worst, I don't know. Do they deserve to be locked? I mean, I suppose so. But it probably ought to be put on a very restrictive, like, it's not done unless there's been a board or I don't know, something. But let's do right by people, human beings. Let's do right by human beings, because I'm pro-life. So if I'm going to make the pro-life argument and say that abortion is wrong, and they say, well, what about the death penalty? I don't want the first thing to be coming out of my mouth be, yeah, but, all right, well, let me explain to you why the death penalty is okay, but killing babies isn't. Now, I could, and that would be legitimate, right? But I've lost the argument then. I want to win that argument. So I will spare the life of killers. They will face their day with God regardless. Yeah, we're gonna slow it down, and maybe they get repentance. Maybe if it saves one soul, right? End cash bail, fines, fees, and disproportionately impact poor and working class people. I mean, not exactly. I'm not. Fight corporate white-collar crime with resources proportionate to its economic impact. From Jill Stein. Restoring voting rights for people with criminal records. Banning the death penalty, like immediate abolishment of the death penalty for all federal crimes. Oliver Chase. So, anyway, I think we should eliminate plea deals because it seems like it shouldn't be how good of a lawyer you can afford. That's the problem. I thought OJ proved that to our country, that it was about money, not about race as much. And that's, yes, because of a myriad of other reasons, it is going to affect black people more. So I think if you commit a crime or you're suspected of committing a crime, they can charge you and put you on trial. That's it. You have your day in court. No plea deals, unless you just plead guilty. It's not plead. You plead guilty to a lesser crime. So you pay your fine. You give them your money. And then you can move on and do other shit. No, either you go to court you face your day in court, or the city, or you don't. They don't bother. So more criminals are going to go free this way, yes, but that's why we have a Second Amendment. That's why we have technology. We have Ring doorbells and shit to keep us safe. We have lots of stuff. We have plenty. It's great. Oh, sorry, my air conditioner just turned off, which means it had been running. See, like Cornel West, okay, he says ban the death penalty. Then life without the possibility of parole. Now, that I disagree with. Not both. 3 strike laws. I don't think you need 3. So if you commit a crime and you're convicted of that crime, no plea deals, you're going to go to prison for that crime. And I think we need to build more prisons in this country. It's not a problem with people being locked up. Not if they're committing the crimes. Not at all. Let's enforce, but we don't. Police, I mean, I'm very skeptical of that side of our part of our government. The enforcement side, the police, the DAs. So I don't want to help them out. It's just, we got to choose liberty, people. We have to choose liberty. You get a criminal, commit an act, and you can convict them of that, you lock them up. Especially if they're violent, you lock them up good. We don't need violent people walking around here. If they can't be part of society, they can have a society behind prison walls. That's fine. They can have a life. They can work for privileges. They can be friends with their other prisoners or enemies if they so choose. They can choose how to live because they could not choose how to live correctly here. They can choose how they can, whatever there. That's what's better for us. National Voting Day. Okay, National Voting Day. We vote on Tuesdays. Let's make it on Fridays. The first Friday of November. Everyone gets a day off. Federal Jobs Program. Yeah, because let's save on these retirement plans for the post office and jobs like that you could get people who temporarily need employment to come in and do. Or maybe you sweep the schools. Or you pick up trash on the highway. But you're giving back to your community. You're a part of your community. Hey, you stumble. Your community's there to help you. But you're going to, give back. Like, that's the problem, is just giving to people with no expectation that they're going to return it in any way. Loyalty. I mean, that's what the Democrats bet on, is loyalty by handouts. But, and I mean, it's obviously done fairly well for them. Government corruption. So I see here consistently banning legislators from owning stock. So when they buy stock ahead of time because of the insider knowledge they get by their position, their government position, their publicly funded position. I mean, stocks have a cap. Now, I've just recently got into trading, so I'm not an expert, but look at me, there's a cap. Them getting in early, that they get in before we can. So like our 401ks and so forth, they will not do as well because they got they got in early. That's how they're stealing from us. They're bankrupting Social Security, and then if you choose to go the private sector route, which you should, they're getting all the advantage. Actually, I had a great couple of days in the stock market. I'm very happy. Folks, I have 2 jobs. I fucking work my ass off. I do this podcast, and I've started trading. And I made like $88 this week I have a couple of different strategies, but what made me what made me want to hear was I've got 10 different piles of money. I am just starting, so it's $250 a piece, and I've got different stocks, all blue chip stocks. That I look at them, I engage them. I think they're going to go up, and I'm buying them. And waiting them. I want 3%, at least 3% is what I really want. I mean, I've taken some at 2. Some shot up to 6. Done great. Then I sell it, take that sum, then find a new stock that I think is going to go up. So so it's going to be like I made $10. Now it's $260. So then my percentage is going to continuously go. I'm going to grow it that way, and the fact that I didn't withdraw it, but like I made $88 this week by pressing buttons on my phone. It's awesome. It's amazing. Like what I have to do to make $88, like, I mean, it's not even like that much. I mean, like, but still, like, I just did this several things, a bunch. Like, that's the world, folks. I'm like 41 years old. I'm just figuring out what money is, I think, for the first time. Like, and I don't have a firm grasp on it at all, by any means. So they all talk about canceling student debt, and of course they do. I'm fine with that. Well, not canceling as much as full in payment for not just people who currently own student debt, but also those people that Biden that bought off. Those two. You go after the colleges. They don't get taxed. They have oodles and oodles and oodles of money. There's never any money, and people are in debt to them. Like and then our government gives them millions or billions of dollars. I mean, I think the top school got over $1 billion. So that's how we do it. You stop giving money to. It's crazy that a Republican would vote for a budget that gives money to universities, which makes future voters hate them. It's crazy. They are funding their own, like, they're funding them. And someone's saying, it's insane. So, okay, we're going to take that's how we're going to take care of student debt. Can we get the far left people on board with let's go after the universities? Now, I ain't telling them what to teach. They can continue indoctrinating people, but we need to stop funding them, because why should people who don't go to college be funding people who do? That's crazy. Or enriching the universities that just sit on the money. So it should be a pretty easy compromise. Military. What do they say about the military? Reduce size and budget of military. Hyper-militarized. Okay, it doesn't mean anything. And existing wars, military actions, proxy wars, and secret wars. I would be in support of that. Stop U.S. support and arms sales to human rights abusers. I mean, I can't object to that. Ban the use of killer drones, robots, and artificial intelligence. Yeah, artificial intelligence, absolutely. The enemy is using drones, so I wish there wasn't an enemy. Cut military spending by 50 to 75%. I doubt that. And Green New Deal jobs, no. Absolutely not. But I mean, I just want our country surrounded, and and then maybe a few. I mean, we have like hundreds, I think, military bases around the world. Let's get that down to a few, maybe strategic ones, and then that's it. So I think we could reduce the size of our military significantly, but actually improve the security of our country. That's probably not ever going to happen. 700 foreign use. I mean, 700 foreign military bases. But I copy and pasted this, so I don't know who said that, but one of them said it. Remove war powers from the president and restore Congress sole power to declare war. Yeah, I agree with that because we haven't declared war since World War II. Is that correct? Right? Or Korea? I think Korea because they say we've never formally declared peace with them. So disband NATO and then replace it with a modern, inclusive security framework that respects the security interests of all nations and people. So yeah, I crossed that one out. Let's just disband NATO. So this is like, I mean, this is serious. Like I am reading this off, but like, this has to be developed into a coherent argument, like not a meandering hour-long. Let's talk about this stuff. Like, I want to do something. It's time to organize. So Kennedy said rein in military spending and use the resources to fund infrastructure, healthcare, higher education, childcare, and domestic prosperity. I agree with the first part. Why do we have to continue spending the money? Oliver Chase said end aid being directed to nation states currently at war. That includes Israel and Ukraine. While we offer moral support to our friends currently engaged with the enemy, we should not be contributing to extending the fight. So that's what I got, folks, I guess. I have another document. This was just kind of the first draft, but I'm not going to go on forever about this. So we need to develop some kind of federal jobs program, but actually use that to supplement government workers so you save on retirement benefits. It's just a temporary stopover so people are working during their unemployment. And that saves us money, folks, and that stops deteriorating our savings so you can pass something down to your kids. So I think the Far Enough movement, the first, I will tell you right here, I take National Voting Day. That'll be our first issue because that's simple enough. It's straight to the point. National Voting Day, first Friday of every November. And then from there, I'm not taking a position. So it's like, that's, again, so the left is going to say, hey, well, we still want mail-in ballots and all the drop boxes and all that stuff. So the left is still going to want, drop boxes, mail-in voting, no voter ID, all that stuff. And we should have none of that, of course. That's be crazy. But like, let's start with National Voting Day. It's just the people who want voter integrity, who want to know who actually won popular votes, who the people actually support, they can make the argument. And we should. We should. But we're going to start with the Far Enough movement. And then, so the way to clean up the criminal justice, abolish the death penalty. So if someone's in prison for someone and they do it again, should they not get solitary confinement? Because obviously prison's not stopping them. Because you don't want them around people then, right? So we're going to abolish the death penalty. Solitary confinement we got to talk about. That's nuanced. I don't want to take it off the table. And eliminating plea deals. No death penalties, no plea deals. Here's one. Restoring voting rights for people with criminal records, including those with currently incarcerated. I mean, I don't know why not. I don't like it. I'd rather not have it. I'd rather keep it the way it is. As much as the left is freaking out about our Supreme Court, so the next president will get probably one Supreme Court justice at least. But if the next president can serve 2 consecutive terms, they're definitely going to get 2. Now, if Trump wins the re-election, he should Clarence Thomas will step down, and I hope Ted Cruz is nominated and put into the Supreme Court. And then let's see what Scalia wants to do. But Amy Klobuchar is not conservative. She's in the middle. Roberts is in the middle, leans left. Leans liberal, I should say, in this way. Kavanaugh leans right. Conservative. Leans conservative. Leans constitutional. Gorsuch is pretty much constitutional. And then Scalia and Thomas are the real, true, blue constitutional. So that's why Ted Cruz needs to go on the Supreme Court. Now, the right definitely has an advantage right now, but if the two most conservative justices are replaced by two radical left-wingers by the next president, if the next president is able to serve 2 terms, that's going to radically transform our country, folks. There will be no stopping it. They will have 5 slam dunk radical left-wing votes. And then Sotomayor will probably step down as well and then have her replaced. And they would have 3 young radical Supreme Court justices to serve. You'd have a total of 5 radical left ones. You'd have Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett kind of in the middle to the left. It's over, folks. It's over that quickly. That's how big this election is. That's why Michelle Obama will probably be our next president. Because they don't just lose the presidency, they lose Congress, they lose the Senate. And they keep the Supreme Court. A Trump win could make sure that the Supreme Court stays as is for a very long time. Clarence Thomas is 75. He can't make it 9 years, 10 years to the next Republican president. If there would be a Republican president then, which I would very well would doubt, because there probably wouldn't be much of a Republican Party left, if I had to guess. The National Jobs Program, I think we got to work out a little bit more, and I think that also could tie in with prison reform. Oh, okay. So the government corruption thing, actually, I didn't go through completely thoroughly. I just stopped at the them not being able to do stocks. Law. Okay, so yeah, because so often when they get kicked out of office, when they're voted out, they just go work for a company or industry or whatever. I don't know, as lobbyists. They pretty much all do, or they go on a board or something. That needs to stop. The perks of being an ex-politician need to stop. Or does it? I don't know. I mean, it feels like it needs to stop, but then why? If you just want to be a libertarian, do whatever you want, man. You're not a politician anymore. I mean, what can you do? But there's a reason they always get those sweetheart jobs after they leave office. Prohibit Congress from giving themselves any benefits they do not give to the people. I mean, sure, that sounds great. Term limits for all elected officials statewide or nationwide. Yeah, completely. So I was listening to something, the way Rome worked. And it did inspire people because their positions of power, their politicians, it rotated. It continuously rotated. Where now, like, you get these entrenched bureaucrats, and they just stay there forever. So maybe that would inspire more people to positions of if you just didn't just see the same names all the time, like, oh, well, that could be me. Why not? It's a new person every time. Why not me? But when you have the same senators forever, same congressmen forever, it creates apathy, I think. Another at Cornel West said the same thing about them working as lobbyists. Revolving door of an executive order with a 5-year ban on administration officials lobbying their former government agency. So, no lobbyists, no trading stocks. Oh, okay, here we go. Ban government contractors from donating to political campaigns. I completely agree with that. See? So that's what we need to do. National Voting Day. Start things off. Congress, no stock trading, no lobbyists, term limits. These other smaller things like the banned government contractors from donating to political campaigns. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's fine. Definitely. And then criminal justice reform on a national level. I mean, I certainly believe in the states having their rights, but I think we can, if we want the Supreme Court to rule that a baby is a baby at conception and shouldn't be killed, let's eliminate the death penalty from the argument. It's not worth it, folks. It's not worth it. Just let people rot in prison. I mean, and if you think it's too glamorous in prison, then I don't know. I mean, do something. Do something. Go to a school board meeting. If you can't muster, going to a school board meeting, you don't really give a shit. So go to a school board meeting, go to a city council meeting, something, please. Join a church group. I suggested the church I go to, I suggested a group be started. I can't lead the group with my schedule, but I would definitely participate in a men's group. Christian fellowship is a great thing, because every time I go in there on Saturday nights, I look around and see a sea of single men, and God knows what they do afterwards. And God knows what I'm going to do afterwards. But hey, let's hang out. Let's talk about Jesus. And maybe I, tell them about the Far Enough movement. I don't know. So there's our basis, folks. So I'm going to get off here. I thought I was going to make this like a multiple episode rant, but I don't need to do that. I'll clean this up, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks, folks. I hope you enjoyed. Enjoy your weekend. See ya.
This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time.
This war stops now.
End the war. Bring freedom to our people.
No. No more tricks. No more lies. Only truth.
This is where we hold them! This is where we fight!